Hi, my name is Kanishka Brahmbhatt, and I will be talking about ethanol and its implications in gasoline, specifically for my biofuel project. So as a quick introduction, ethanol is a clear colorless compound that is blended into fuel to reduce carbon emissions, and it is derived from biomass, which is usually starches or other saccharides, and it was popularly introduced in 2001, but the use has almost skyrocketed since then, so it's very popular. And while the usage is only mostly seen in gasoline, and that's what I will be focusing on, it is used in many types of machinery that requires engines in general. So to cultivate ethanol, fermentation, the anaerobic respiration process, is used, and usually prokaryotes and such as bacteria and yeast is used for that. There is research to try to derive it from other sources, such as cellulose, for example, as we cannot digest that. But in today's day, corn is widely used in the United States. Other countries do use other sources, such as sugarcane is more popular in Brazil, and wood chips are also used as a source that we do not actively use in other ways. And the process of glycolysis, a part of fermentation, is shown down below. So for the usage of ethanol comes from ethanol fuel, and the most popular form is E10, which has 10% ethanol and everything else is normal fossil fuel gasoline. But many other forms exist, such as E15, which, as the name states, has 15% of ethanol and the rest is normal fuel. And E85 also exists, which has 50 to 83 approximately percent of ethanol, but the only limitation for that is that most engines cannot handle that level of ethanol and still run smoothly and hold their longevity. So it is not very popular. And about 97% of gasoline in the United States has ethanol in it, so it's quite popular. The environmental impact of ethanol is that it lowers carbon emissions as it has less than 30% of the energy of gasoline. So it reacts with the gasoline, and the products that are almost formed that could release carbon emissions and other greenhouse gases react with the ethanol and are lowered significantly, which also reduces our carbon footprint. But a con is that mostly air pollution is lowered. The other types of pollution that come from the process of making that fossil fuel gasoline, such as water contamination and soil contamination, is still present. Its economic impact is is that it creates many jobs, mostly in rural areas, and generates a lot of money. And in the United States, it generates about $52.1 million of gross income for the United States. Although this varies from country to country as the development of the manufacturing of the engines also varies, and that is a limiting factor. Ethanol usage is very popular in the United States, and it is also quite popular in other countries as well. And it is widely used in fuel, although the most common version does not contain much ethanol. It still contains some, which is a step in the right direction. And most gas stations have signs that say premium gas, which has more ethanol. And so most people are also educated and know about ethanol in the gas that they put in the car. And the side effects of fossil fuel gasoline are also very well known. So people are very educated about it, so they will also actively choose to use ethanol. My analysis of the situation is that the government is doing really good in funding for more ethanol research, and people are also very well educated. But some further steps that we can take is create machinery that does not require fossil fuel gasoline, as that is the biggest limitation in today's day, or mix ethanol with biofuels that are derived from vegetable oil and animal fats, which utilize the energy that comes from photosynthesis and cellular respiration, which uses more of the energy that we are already given. Or more research from ethanol extraction from cellulose, for example, or other indigestible compounds would also help to maximize the resources that we already currently have. The pros greatly outweigh the cons of using ethanol, as the pros are environmental and economic benefits, and the cons are simply just the limiting factor that we do not have machines and engines that can handle as much. And that's my work cited. Thank you so much.